You kind of wonder why guys like that.
I want you to take a break. And I saw the kids
Poland stuff, race and stuff. You gotta be watching this.
Gotta be.
I'm 65, in a few years on me, I'm gonna say it's minimum 75.
I think he's in good shape. I mean, last I
And you have to put in there that it is.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Wherever. If he doesn't push the whole thing, then that majority to
No, we'll come back.
No, I don't think that decision was made.
No.
With life, so we can just have a
certified job,
and then.
Cool.
and motorcycle accident on 12th race or something. Yeah. He's hanging in there, but broken left leg, broken right arm and 3 foot, broken left wrist, dislocated and fractured.
And that's all it is. Whatever the answer is, I don't care what the answer is.
Well, okay.
We just gotta get there.
Sure. Okay, we'll call this meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Pledge the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for coming. First part of our agenda here is a public hearing. Purpose of the hearing is to receive public input regarding the vacation of Durst Drive and the amendment of the transportation plan and official map. Matt, do you want to give them a quick?
I think Tammy's going to give the synopsis on this.
A little bit?
A little bit, yes, please.
Okay, this property is located on Penbarn Drive. This is the Durst Drive that they would like to vacate. The vacated right-of-way will become an integral part of the subject property. Before the vacation, it's 14.37 acres. After the vacation, it will be 15.19 acres. We received this plan on February 26th. We started the 45-day review on March 4th. Went in front of Erie County Planning on March 22nd. And they did recommend approval. Went in front of our Planning Commission on March 11th, as well as they recommended approval. We did our advertisements, and here we are at the public hearing.
So the other aspect of this is amendment of the transportation plan. So this is the vacation survey that the applicant put together. And here's the updated transportation plan. So just to put it in perspective, the area we're looking at is right here. So this is that subject parcel, and that cul-de-sac that used to be here is now removed from the transportation plan. So that's the only change to this transportation map.
All right, public input. Hearing none, motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll call our regular business meeting to order. Need a motion to approve the minutes from April 15th, 2024.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Public comment on agenda items. Correspondence. Need a motion to approve the April 2024 expenses.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. No old business, new business. Motion to approve or deny Picnicana Playground letter of commitment.
Make a motion to approve?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Hold on one moment.
Oops, go ahead.
We gotta put some values to this, so, up on the screen, this is the updated, cost estimate. The areas in yellow are the areas where the township is going to provide either in-kind services. The areas in yellow are in-kind services. So before, we had these three items as well. As part of the review, DCR came back and said you cannot use materials as your in-kind services. So those have been deleted off of the in-kind services, which has reduced it down to $38,600, which increased our cash match for the project up to $161,400, and it's a $400,000 total project. So I think before it was $155, and what are the difference of that? So it's just kind of swapping the money around.
6-4. Is that right?
So Mark made the motion and Tony seconded.
Did they? Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion to approve or deny Downs Drive letter of commitment.
So real quick on this one, this is the cost estimate for Downs Drive project. This one's currently for a grant for the VCD for the local share account. Project total is $600,000. Originally we went in for a zero match, but they've been showing interest and kind of inquired if we would be willing to provide a match. We can do the inspection in-house, which constitutes about $72,000 of the project. And then if you wanted to do anything above and beyond that, we can provide as a cash match. And basically, this match would just come off the project, it'd be our responsibility to reduce the cost down, and then anything above and beyond that amount we'd be responsible for. So I didn't know if you wanted to make it an even 100,000, so 72,000 and 28,000 cash. And then they're looking for a letter of commitment from us for that.
I'm fine with that. You know, for us to do this project, you know, we'd be looking at, 600,000.
Yes.
So I don't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah.
28,000 cash.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm fine. That too is still a pittance compared to what we would pay.
All right, then we need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion to approve or deny resolution number 2024-08, destruction of certain records.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
What are they? What's being destroyed?
So we follow the municipal records manual, and we have a list. There are certain things that we have to keep for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, or indefinitely. Example, bids from 2016 back. Quarterly statements of state and local taxes withheld from 2019 back. So it varies, and if you want to see the list, I have it.
It's older documents.
Correct, because we're having shredding at the cleanup days on Saturday, so we're going to take all these records up and have them destroyed.
Thanks for the explanation.
The municipal records manual requires that we, prior to destruction, because they are public records, we adopt a resolution identifying what is being destroyed. So if somebody asks where they are, we can point to the resolution as to what had occurred.
Just, it's great.
All right, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion to approve or deny 2024 bids, ECOG Seal Coat Project and Lindy Paving. We got a list there.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
And this is for our paving, seal coat, aggregates, anti-skid, so forth. They're all bid out through the COG.
Yeah, the COG is Erie Association of County,
Council.
Council of Government. So most of the townships in Erie County are together on this. And every year they ask for sealed bids for a lot of different things. Reason why is hopefully instead of everybody bidding individually, you get quantities down and get a lot better price. The COG, they call it, Council of Government. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion to approve or deny letter of acknowledgement for 2024 roll-in for veterans. We were going to put that on hold because we had a little discussion with liabilities. Doesn't affect Summit too much. We got Robinson Road and Oliver Road. But other than that, the last year when they did it, nobody from the organization wanted to sign their name. So I just want to be careful that Summit Township isn't doing something we're not supposed to and end up being liable for a problem. Most of their travel is on state roads, some in Waterford.
Just gonna table that.
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to table that until.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Yeah, we got quite a bit of time, so by the next meeting, we'll know what we're doing, if we need to do anything. Donated uses, motion to approve or deny. Summit Township Water Authority, Picnicanis, September 14th, 2024, employee picnic.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Motion to approve or deny FLB Youth Cross Country Picnicana, August 12th to the 9th, October 9th, August 12th to October 9th. Meets and what practice, September 11th and the 25th. Must be 4 dates there. 5 to 7:30 p.m. track meets.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We've been doing that several years now. It seems to have worked out very well. Land development, motion to approve or deny an amendment to the transportation plan officially map vacating Durst Drive, parcel number 40-12-46-1.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Solicitor?
Reviewed and revised some of the standard leasing documents that we use for some of our tenants here at the facility. You have those for review. I don't think I have anything further at this point.
Engineer Jonas?
So Waste Management's in the process of replacing 3 culverts on the east side of the township. They started Willing Road last week. This week they're probably looking to set the culvert, weather permitting, and another week after that for backfilling and paving. And then after that, they'll move on to foot mill. They're kind of hoping to do a three-week cycle for each culvert. So that's all I have for tonight.
They're about halfway with that culvert when I stopped.
I figured they'd be moving along pretty quick.
Yeah, looks good.
All right, thank you. Supervisors, Mark?
Oh, not a whole lot. Still up on New Road. We will be closing New Road at some point. We'll be putting up the signboard up there to let everybody know when it's going to be closed. It's possible that it could be the end of this week. We've been working with the bus garage and PSP, letting them know what's going on. Should only be a few hours to make this road crossing, so. And That's meat and potatoes of what the guys have been doing. A little bit of work on Picnicana, but Tony can elaborate on that.
Tony,
Yeah, the restrooms at Picnicana are like 99% done. They should be open tomorrow or Wednesday at the latest. The guys did a really good job on that. Ball fields are straightened around pretty good. Everything's open and going, and we're cleaning and fixing and cutting trees, etc. The grass is growing really fast. We're mowing twice a week, sometimes almost 3 times in some areas. But once these restrooms are done, that'll be really nice, and everybody can check that out when they get a chance at Picnicana. That's about it for now.
all right, thank you. We've been busy with developers like usual, and that's a good thing. Someone's very fortunate there. Construction costs are expensive, so it slows some of them down. They find out some of the different things they have to do, and I don't mean by permitting either. I mean just over the overall cost of construction and utility connections and everything else. Anyway, public input. Yes.
Do I need to come forward or?
Sure, please. Then Al can hear you.
It's my first time here and almost living here for almost 18 years, so.
Welcome.
Thank you.
State your name, please.
Oh, Gail Contois, Contois as in Sam.
And your address?
380 Robinson Road West. And I'd like to speak about the recycling program, which I'm certainly in favor of. I've been recycling for years. My concern is the fact that quite a few people around me do not have garbage pickup. Therefore, they are not subject to the recycling, nor the fee that I'm paying for my recycling. And to me, that's a concern. I know that life isn't fair, but you would think that, I didn't know if the township is looking at this or not. I'm certain that I'm not the only person who has neighbors around that don't have garbage pickup. When my husband was alive back years ago, and they were starting garbage pickup in Summit Township, he was able to take his garbage to work, and we provided a letter to the township. It was required to provide a letter at that time stating that you were able to take your garbage to your place of work, that you didn't have to pay for garbage pickup. I'm sure that's gone by the wayside now, but I do know there are people that do not have garbage pickup. They live right near me, but yet they got a tote, which I understand came from a grant. However, that ultimately, indirectly, it's my tax dollar at work for those grants and to pay for those totes. And I guess they dropped them off to everybody. The people that are never going to get them to use them because they aren't paying for garbage pickup, that to me seems like a big waste. I didn't know if the township maybe had gone through and contacted each garbage carrier to see who had garbage pickup and who didn't before you jumped into this. I didn't know how it was being handled. And it's just a concern for me. So I don't know if you guys can give me any input or not.
Oh, no, thanks for your concern, and it's a big concern of ours too. And like everything else, the DEP has that Act 101 that we're trying to follow the dang law.
Oh, I understand that, yeah.
It's only 35 years old. There ain't much changed in 35 years in Summit Desert. It's really, really annoying. And the other thing is, I'm just as green as anybody. And here's one thing I do here instead of styrofoam and paper. Nonetheless, it's turned into a feel-good program, and nobody polices it, and the landfill will even tell you about 2 private companies did studies, and this ain't even advertised. About 80% of our recycles goes to the landfill because they got the wrong container in a package or in a can, or the containers are dirty. I know some businesses even went through that when they had their dumpsters. And restaurants and things, halls, rental halls, they said, well, they dumped our whole recycle container into the trash because there was dirty containers in there. So they expect everything to be rinsed out. it's a long, nasty story, and we're working with state reps and Dan Laughlin. We're trying to get somebody to move on this.
Right.
Get it up to date and get some help, you know?
But I'm just, it doesn't seem fair that
No.
I'm gonna be out $120 a year, and I'm on a pretty tight budget. And yet there's lots of people that aren't gonna pay anything.
Yes. What was that?
Well, we were just saying real quick, we did enact an ordinance that stated each resident was supposed to have garbage pickup, and maybe Tim could even chime in, how do you go about policing something like that? It's like mowing the grass, I don't.
And there's various methods that we could use. I mean, it's just a question of dedication of resources and allocation of resources within the township. If you want to send a survey out, require people to fill it out and send it back. I mean, we don't have one garbage provider to have one overall view of the entirety of the system, so we would have to do some sort of survey to figure that out. In addition, if you ran into a situation where there was an accumulation of trash or garbage at somebody's home and you wanted to do an enforcement action against them, the failure of them to have garbage pickup would be one of the enforcement tools that you would have in place. But once again, it's a determination of the allocation of resources as to how far you want to go with inquiring.
Well, I think we should probably talk about it at some point down the road. Just, we did make an ordinance, we were like, should probably follow up with it somehow, but, I don't know if there's a good way to do it, other than, like Tim said, then we got our code guy out running around.
Well, and they
with the
can put
trash
anything
can.
on the paper they want to, whether they have it or not.
Yeah,
Yeah, if there was one hauler that was contracted to pick up
Right.
the entire township, I think we'd have a little more control, but with,
Well,
we have 3, possibly 4 providers, and everybody's on a different day,
well, I know, I understand, it's complicated. It just frosts my cookies a little bit.
well, no, I think you're right to bring that up, honestly, so I say we'll talk about it a little bit, or I'll talk about
And people have various ways to get rid of their
it.
garbage.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing it up, because nothing changes if you don't.
Yeah, thank you, we do appreciate it,
No.
I do.
All right. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Paul Kuzma, I just want to comment on the representative of our community, the engineer's nice haircut.
Yeah, hey, I got it.
Okay.
Mine fell out.
Oh, my. I like it, Matt. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, anyone else? Yes, ma'am. Yes, come on up.
Well, we just were questioning if Summit Township would ever consider like a noise ordinance law. I mean, we have a neighbor that has at least 3 dogs that bark 24/7. And I would think that if that was your neighbor, you would not want to put up with that. I mean, all hours of the day and night. I've called him.
Name and address, please.
Pardon me?
Name and address, please.
Mine, it's Elena Darden,
Okay.
2350 New Road. And I've contacted him, he says that he's trying, I just, I don't know what you want me to do, that's what he says to me, and I said, well, how do you expect people to want to listen to this? I can't even sit outside. It's bad enough, New Road is a cut-through road, and it's constant traffic, all these things that I wish I had known before we built out there, and I would have never moved there. But now, between David up the street and now these dogs, I mean, I can't even sit outside, there's either someone roaming in my yard from David's house, dogs yapping all day and night, and it's just, I don't know why there's no noise. I mean, I call the police, they're very nice, they come and they say, there's no law they're breaking because Summit Township doesn't have one, so we can only enforce the law, and if there's no law, there's nothing we can do. And then they tell me to call you guys tell me to call the police, it's just back and forth. And I just think it's inconsiderate. I'm trying to get Lee's phone number, and I wanna call him myself, because we bought our property from Lee's father, who's passed away, so Lee knows my husband, but I'd like to call Lee myself, I just can't get his number, but I've given up on calling this gentleman, because he just doesn't care. And it's just rude.
Yes.
So I guess I want to know why there was no noise ordinance law. I mean, I understand we're out in the country, but I still should be able to sit outside. And then when I bring my dogs out, you know, with me, we're putting in a fence in the yard so I can keep them back there and sit by the pool. Then they're just gonna bark because they hear his dog barking, and I can't listen to it. So I said to him, I'm like, I have 2 dogs. I would never allow them to bark and disrupt somebody. I don't understand how you think this is okay. And he just pops an attitude at me. So it's just not fair to us.
I won't throw the state police under the bus, but they don't always tell the truth either. You know, they're not allowed to enforce our ordinances. And when you have an ordinance, now we can take it to the district justice office and file a complaint, but the state police do not enforce township ordinances because they'd have to be an attorney, they'd need a library full of information.
Yeah, I mean, well, like, what can we do
enforce
besides
state
rules?
laws. I wish they would tell.
If you could call the dog warden.
So I did call, Amy Rush, 2420 New Road. I'm actually 1 house closer than Elena. The police did tell us to call the dog warden, and it went straight to his voicemail, and it specifically says, if you are calling about excessive dog barking, I do not deal with that.
Oh.
I mean, everybody.
So that was, we've called the police, we've called the dog warden, Elena has talked to the owner twice. First, he denied that it was his dogs. I have about 15 voice or video recordings on my phone from inside my house, outside my house, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. of the dogs barking, if you guys would like to hear it.
I called Lee about 2 weeks ago, and I talked to him about this. I think I talked with you about it. I can call him again and try one more time, but.
Okay.
But I mean, long term, why don't we have a noise ordinance? It's not just the dogs, like we said, we talked about David, he's chainsawing at 3 a.m. There's other things, just in general, I know that I live right next to the cornfield that Lee Jr. runs. I know that, rural equipment might be like a drawback of having a noise ordinance, but that's why other townships have things like decibel levels so that, it doesn't fall within that category of getting in trouble for it. I'm just wondering why we don't have a noise ordinance just for cases like this.
Well, we'll talk to our attorney and work on that. There is some language about construction there.
Right.
So that it's turned into a busy township, and some people don't care who they bother,
Well, and that's what I said to him, like, you're just not being considerate for other
Correct.
people. I said, I don't know how you think this is acceptable.
Yeah,
And
is
it's
that that
wrong.
rental?
It is a rental. He's renting it from Lee Jr. If you want to hear the dogs barking, I have recordings.
Oh, we've got plenty of them.
Okay, I have
We know
more.
the sound of them.
And they're hound dogs, they're hunting dogs. I understand they're in outdoor kennels. This wasn't a problem until about last summer, and he specifically said they don't bark when they have their bark collars on.
Put them on.
So we said, put the collars back on, and he didn't. It wasn't a problem through the winter. Obviously, he was kind enough to bring the dogs inside during the winter time. He probably knew they would be taken away if they were kept outside in the winter. It was fine through the winter. Now, as soon as it got nice out again, they're back outside.
And that's when we want to sit outside, when it's
Right.
nice outside. And I can't even do that. I can't bring my dogs out because then they're yapping because they hear them. And it just drives me nuts. I just ruff all day and all night. I mean, it's annoying.
And we have had discussions with them. Tammy's had multiple. Lee, seemed to, make it go away for quite a while. It just sounds like it's back again. I don't know how long.
Do you have any
it's been
other
going
advice as to
on.
what I called, I work at the courthouse, so I know Brian McGowan from coming in our office at the deeds department. And I called there today, but I talked to the girl and she said we could file like a criminal complaint or a civil complaint. But I mean, where's that gonna get us? Probably nowhere, I'm assuming.
And that's why we thought it would be best to come to you guys and see if we could get some sort of an ordinance in place, and so that way it would be taken care of through the township.
All right.
Oh, God.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll work on it.
Thank you.
We're aware.
Thank you.
Anyone else out of the public? Hearing none, I think I'll have a motion to adjourn, and we're gonna have an executive session with the attorney about our fire department and our fire chief.
For purposes of personnel.
Personnel, yes.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
No action will be taken following.
Aye.
Right.
No action